All right, we're going to be doing session 4, multiplying by 10. Today we're going to practice some problems that involve 1 and 2 digit by 10. And we're going to review some other strategies like the partial products. And then we're going to introduce a workplace called Missing Bingo, which if you're not able to play with us, you can play at home with a parent because there's a link right on there at the end, which I'll show you how to use. All right. So the very first thing, I'm just going to go over it a little bit here, is anything times 10. Let me get my eraser up. So anything times 10, you just going to put the zero at the end. So if you look here, 10 times 1 is just 110. This is two tens, so that's 20. And you notice that you could just do 1 times 2 and then put the 0 right on the end here. It's just moving it over. Multiplying it by 10 moves it over 1. So like here, you're just moving it over 1 to tens column. Taking that 3 and you're moving it from here to here. Same with the 4. Again, you're taking that 4, all you're doing it moving it into the tens position. Same with the 5, you're moving it into the tens position. Same all the way around. Now this is a review of third grade. Now here, we can do the same thing. We're just moving the 10 over 1 to become 100. Now these two get a little confusing for some, but if you think about all you're moving it over 1, so all it is taking that 11, taking it from here and move it over 1, so that last one is in the tens column. Some people look at it as like the magic 0 here, where they sit there and say, "Here's my 11. I'm taking this and putting it here, and that 1 times 11 is 11." Same with this. 1 times 12 is 12. And then, okay, and then really I'm just moving it from here over 1, and it's 120. So some people call it the magic 0. You say 1 times 12 and then put it right here. It's a good way to think about it, but really all you're doing is moving it over into the tens column. Um, so that's the times 10, just a review from third grade. We're going to also review area. We've been talking about area for a while. There is a formula of area equals base times height. So it's about of a rectangle, area of a rectangle. So if you know the height is 7 and you know the base is 10, so that's 7 rows of 10. So we know that's 70. Now, what we do on here, a meter times a meter is a square meter. So we got to make sure we have our correct units here. Area is all the inside stuff. And don't get confused with perimeter. Perimeter is the distance around just the outside. Area is all the inside stuff, like if you're going to get like carpet for your house or tile for your house. So 5 for here times 10 is your area. So another way to think about that is 5 rows of 10. 5 rows of 10. So the area is base times height, or height times base. So that's 5 rows of 10. So we got 50. And here we can do our zero trick. 50. Now here's 50 centimeters squared. This is a square centimeter. 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter is a square centimeter. So we're going to do cm for centimeter. And with the little 2 up there means square centimeters. Or you could write it out, the whole word. All right. Remember in the rule of math, do your parentheses first. So on this one here, you got 15. A lot of people say 15 divided by 3 and gives 5, and then you had 2. That doesn't work. You got to do your parentheses first. This comes first. And each time you want to rewrite it so it goes down. So get my pen up here. So if we do this one first, we could say 3 plus 2 is 5. Then we have to take these and put them right down. So 15 now divided by 5 equals 3. It's a little different answers. So if we had done it without the parentheses first. So just remember that rule, something we have been going on to. Another thing is that we've been working on this idea of this equal sign. And this equal sign is kind of like a scale. So whatever is on this side has to equal whatever on this side. Okay, so here again, we could do that zero trick, right? By moving that 19. If anything times 10, we take that 19, we move it over 1, right? So here's our placeholders. And it's we just move it over 1 so that 9 goes in the 10 column. And then we add that 0 here as a placeholder. So this is 190. Now we have to think about, uh-oh, it has to weigh the same. So if we have 190 over here, we have to have 190 between all these, but we have parentheses. Okay, so parentheses, we have to do those first. So let's just look at these parentheses. Okay, so right here, again, that 10 trick really is easy on this one. So if we do 9 times 10, again, if we had our placeholders, wrong one, sorry. We had our placeholders here. So that 9 times 10 is like taking that 9 here, moving it over to the tens, and putting your 0 here. That's a 9, by the way. Sorry about that. 9. Okay, now we have to think about, if we have 90 here, that's the 90 on this part. Well, we need 100 in here. So this parentheses has to add up to 100 or multiply out to 100. So I got to think, blank times 10 is 100. Well, that's a basic fact we remembered from the beginning when we did it. Right here. Where's 100? Oh, times 10. So this has to be 10 right here. And that makes sense. 10 times 10 is 100. 100 plus 90 is 190. So 190 on that side and 190 on this side balances out. So if I had 190 kittens on this side and 190 kittens on this side, that scale would be the same. It would be equal to each other. If not, it would not be equal to each other. Again, we could look at this and as kind of doing the partial products, like the heart method that we did before. So all you did here is kind of thinking about 19 times 10. And what we did is we broke that 19 up into its tens and ones. So we said 10 plus 9. And then we did 10 times 9 over here. I should say 9 times 10. Let me get rid of that. 9 times 10 over here. And then this one was 10 times 10. Sorry, it's sloppy. I'm trying to do this with my mouse. And so that goes here and that goes here, right? So we did this, our heart method like this. So this would be 100, which is this part. And this would be our 90. And then we put them back together, get our 190, that balances out. So now we got to think about, which ones are these up here? Look at there. That one matches this. This one here would match here. So this has to be 10. Just another way to think about that one. So now let's look at this one. 23 times 17. 23 times 17. Thinking about the partial products, See if you can try this one out. You're going to want to set it up again. Maybe we'll do this like this. 23 times 17. Hmm. What would you break this one into and see if you could fill in this part right here? You don't have to answer it. You just want to know this missing part right here. It's going to give you a couple seconds to work on that. And then you can pause the video and just come back when you're all set and see if you get it right. All right, hopefully you got it right. Here is what that was easy for you. If not, that's okay. That's all right. We're going to be doing um, this many times. This time, reviewing it many times until you get it. So 23, we could break that up into its tens and its threes. So that would be 20 plus 3, and we just kind of cross that off. Then we do 3 times 17. And then we do 20 times 17. Now again, I didn't say you had to figure this one out what the product was. What you would needed to do is just find that missing one here. So if this is 20 times 17, check. So this side is 3 times 17. So if I'm adding these back together down there, this would have to be 3. This is called the partial products. It means you're breaking this into parts and then putting it back together again. Here they separated this part, and then you could have figured it out later on, but this one's just asking you, can you divide it up? And again, if I was doing this, I could have just done like this. If you was looking at that 23, here's another way to look at it. I broke it up into 20, it would have been 23 times 17. The 20 times 17 goes in here. So in here is the 20 times 17. And this part right up in here is the 3 times 17. Now I know this is going to be a little bit more advanced, but if I wanted to, I could even break it up again. Look at this array, 23 times 17. I took that 17 and divided it up again. So now I got 4 parts. And I'm like gonna look at this. These are really easy to figure out. So I got this one right here. Again, I'm gonna go back and just show you. This is your 23. Remember, we had 23 times 23 rows of 17. 23 rows of 17, but we just broke them up into like 20 plus 3 and 10 plus 7. And then we did the multiplication. Then we did 3 times 10, 30. 3 times 7, 3 rows of 7. These are basic facts. 20 times 10, I could do that zero trick again. Move that, take that 20, move it over one place. And then our last one here, oops, is 20 times 7 is 140. Then I add, since I break them all apart, I then put them back together to get my answer. Doing an array like this, even this is a closed array with all the little squares, you wouldn't even have to do that. You could just done an open array to show it like that. And I broke it up into 4 parts into things I knew, and then because I did not know this, I broke it down into little parts that I could easily figure out and then put it back. Okay. So there's going to be problems like these on the test too, and that was a little tricky for a lot of people. So on these, we're going to be looking at this whole thing as one humongous piece that they're breaking it up into parts. Here's the part divider. They said, let's just break it up into 2 parts. So first of all, I got to think of what would go here. Change it. Something times 5 is 50. Huh. That we could go back to our 10 facts again. That would be 10 rows of 5 would be 50. Okay. Well, if this is 3 here, and this is 5 up here, this has to be 5 down here. So that's 3 rows of 5, which is 15. Okay, this problem would have came out to be 13 times 5. And then you add it back together. 13 times 5 equals, say, A for area. And then we could say, then we broke that apart, but it was like, then we put it back together to get 65. 65 equals A. And our unit would be probably square units, whatever this would have been. All right, so that's just a little review. Now we're going to play a real simple game, have a little fun on this one. And it's called What's Missing Bingo. This is going to help you with your multiplication and division facts because a lot of you guys are pretty rough on that. All right, so on this one, the rule is you get to choose a board and you should choose different boards if you're playing against other people. When we play as a whole, I'm just going to model it and show everybody, and we're going to try to play later on when we get back next week. But you guys they'll be playing with me. So each player chooses a board, a different one, and then you shuffle the cards if you have the cards. Here we're going to play like we do in class. We're going to play online, so we don't have to, touch the same cards over and over with each other. And so and I don't have enough cards for everybody to have their own deck on these. So we're just going to play it online and figure out what the missing part is. Okay, so then both players put an X over the missing number as it appears on their board. Some appear more than once, so a player should think carefully where they put their X. Play continues to take turns drawing cards and marking on their board until you get 4 in a row. You can do a horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. Now, in here, I did put the link. So when you do go to here, you're going to be playing online. Let me see where it is. Interactive. And here would be the instructions again. Okay, so if parents, if you want to reread this, if you didn't really quite get that, but I will show you again how it is. So if we're going to play as a class. I'm just going to have everybody just choose a board, and whoever gets bingo first, just yells it out. Okay. Normally you just play in partners, or you could do in, groups of 4 even. Since it's going to be a virtual, we're not going to be able to do that. But actually, if you're doing it at home with your parent, this would be you and your parent, or maybe you and your brother or sister could do this. So what you're going to do is just pick a card. And actually, let me just refresh this one. I think I can refresh. Just say yes to clear your work. All right. So say I picked board 1 and my dad picked board 2. And I'm going to play against them. Okay, so this is you and this is your dad or your mom or your brother or your babysitter or your grandma. So you just pick a card and you got to figure it out what it is. So 7 times something is 14. That's a basic fact we're just reviewing. So then you could choose different colors if you want. And then you look for the 2. Now on yours, you have 2 choices. For 2s, you got to think about where you go. I like playing corners, so I'm going to go right here. Dad, or mom, or whatever, you kind of look right here too and see where you got for your 2. Looks like you only have 1 choice in that corner. All right, then we pick again. Now you can click on this. So blank times 8 is 32. Now this is where it's going to show your parents too if you know your facts. Okay, so that is 4. So again, I had choices. I could go here or here. I like playing diagonals, so I'm a diagonal guy. And then parents would have to choose here or here. Let's just see which one would be better. We're gonna go up here just send the parents. Pick another one. 5 times something is 30. Well, that's 6. So now again, I have choice. Nope, I only have one choice. Right here. Parents, do you have two choices? You have two choices. Ooh, look at this one. If parents would have gone here, they would have been one away. Sorry about that, parents. Now we're going into division. Uh-oh, we got to think backwards if you want. If you're 32 divided by something is 4, or we could say 4 times something is 32. Oh, that's 8. So we're going to go and look for 8. Here's mine. Oh, I should have gone here. Go here. 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, here. And parents only got 1. All right. Now this continues until you get 4 in a row on a diagonal. Whoever gets it first, you can go vertical or horizontal. Whoever gets it first wins. If it's a tie, it you could do the next. You can get whoever gets another one, or you can just say it's a tie and play another game. This will help you on your facts. All right, I hope that helps. That'll be in for the lesson today. Again, parents will review all this again, so don't worry about it. We will definitely cover it again. Thanks.